What's happening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages? This is Out With It, and I am your boy Ukamo, back again with another banger of a chat session. And today we have very special guests. I'm not flying solo today, as usual. I have the beautiful, the bright, in yellow lady next to me, Sis Londi. I'm good, how are you? And on my far left, we have the bold and beautiful, brave Zizile with the ginger hair.
Okay.
Just saying,
It's not ginger, okay?
whatever it is. The man with the Liverpool t-shirt, Ubongani, aka
Easy, my man.
So we have a very special edition today, guys. We are discussing a very important matter, a matter that is so serious. In fact, it's creating havoc in South Africa. So we decided to do our part as the youth, to participate, to educate, and to stick together, man. So in the few days or months that have passed, we have received very sad news with celebrities. Shia, and the thing that is like we've had celebrities Shia before.
Oh my god, double HP.
But then the thing is like the way the reason behind their death is very shocking, if I may say so, because we think people are happy out there. We see them in the spotlights, on stage, and you actually wish to live in Pila by Pila, so you have that. Exactly. So today we are discussing, there was this post I saw on Facebook. Uzizile, please don't say I was ranting. I was exercising my rights.
There's nothing wrong with ranting.
But ranting is like too much. It's like I was like, I was chill. I saw this Facebook post, guys. It was talking about the recent situation of the famous singer, artist, Ricky, who has recently passed away. May his soul rest in peace, and sincere condolences, and we are with you in spirit. So I saw this post on Facebook. It's a post, if I remember correctly, it says depression is a real thing. I don't remember the whole post, but it read what depression is a real thing. Now in the that made me really frustrated was that we as South Africans, I believe, it's my opinion, is that we are kind of hypocritical, because reason being, before you'll bite my head off.
According to the rant.
Yes, the reason being is that I think we treat our serious situations the same way we treat the things that happen on social media. It's like when there is a movement that is going on, like let's take Black Lives Matter for example, right? The movement Black Lives Matter, we pushed it, we hyped it, it was all in there. But then a few, months later, people gave up on it, and the racism carried on. Not that it didn't happen when the movement was going on, but at least we were doing something about it, So isn't Ganjalo really frustrating me, because this depression thing that has been going on, that has been trending on social media platforms, that celebrities are actually in a critical situation whereby
Personally?
Yes, thank you. They are facing problems, and especially men,
Yeah,
like we cannot, I don't know what to do. I think personally for me, it's not something that you decide to do as a man. It's something that happens naturally, I think, because I've also experienced this type of thing, because I grew up knowing you have to make decisions in order to prove one day you'll be indoda, so those things, the environment you grow around, the things that people teach you, obviously so I had that mentality, would say, okay, I have a problem, it's stressing me out, what do I do? If I tell my parents will take it as if mhlambe I cannot stand up for myself, which is not true.
Yeah, because of the narrative.
Because of the narrative, exactly. So
you're absorbing it. No one is realizing that as a child you've already taken that information on, and now you're reacting to it.
The brain is like a sponge.
Yeah, exactly. Growing up, it affecting me, and I realized it at a very late age. No, this thing of bottling things up inside is a really bad thing, you know. Because when you bottle things up, you reach a level whereby you cannot contain it anymore. Every little thing that happens to you, no matter what, it sticks in so much.
It's just there.
You know.
Yeah.
So that is what we will be talking about today, ladies and gentlemen. That is what we will be discussing.
The matter of my tongue is English.
And by the way, I'm so embarrassed. My English teacher is actually sitting right next to me.
Oh my!
I kid you not. My English teacher is actually sitting right next to me. I am a whole lot of trouble. Okay.
You have shamed her.
He's doing a great job, guys. Come on, absolutely love it.
Yeah. So that is what we'll be getting into today. In the depression, we'll be taking different angles, approaching it in different angles, different opinions, you know. So yeah, guys, let's get right into it. The first thing I want to start with, Bafeto, is that what is depression? Because like I think it happens, you have depression or you're depressed, but you don't actually realize you're depressed in such a way it ends up messing you up because you don't know what's going on. At least if you know, I'm not saying if you know it's better, but there's a way to control it.
It is better.
Yes. So I want to know what exactly is depression.
I think what you're saying, Gamo, is so important. You guys, I think you guys agree out there. It's so important. When you have a headache, just when it starts, you know you've got a headache. Yeah. And then you start doing things that will help you with the headache. It might be you'll drink water or you'll go to sleep and see if the headache doesn't go away. If it doesn't go away, then you tell your mom or your sister or your husband or somebody. But because we don't know what depression is, and we don't talk about it unless something drastic happens, and then all of a sudden we're like, yes, it is serious. I'm getting later.
Exactly. It was frustrating.
If I was there, I would be like, River behind me.
How are we entertaining depression? If the spotlight of depression is shining on famous people, what about those people who are not famous?
Exactly. And if we're shining it after the fact, is that what we mean? Oh, so Windows was so
exactly.
And people say things like, "No, man, I can't be around you right now. You are depressing."
You're depressing.
What does that mean? Like, what does that mean?
You exactly. I will go to a kind of school some So I really think this is such a simple question, but it's such a very, very important question.
Depression is pretty complex, right?
Yes, it is.
It is. And it varies person to person. It's different for everyone.
I actually took it lightly. I kind of confused it, like, listen to they're very similar. There's depression, there's anxiety, there's PTSD, so you get confused, you don't actually know what's a yin. So I didn't think depression is that deep until celebrities. That's when we become aware, or we say, oh, this is how serious depression is. Shooting, if there were no celebrities who are being affected by this situation, we wouldn't have like that full detail of what depression is. Unless you have depression and go to the doctors.
I mean, that's why it's so important that somebody like you, a young guy like you, is going crazy about it. Good men stay quiet, evil goes insane. Exactly. I always call you guys my babies and I say your uncles when I talk about us. If they don't want to do it, you guys are the next generation. You guys are coming up as fathers, you're coming up as everything. So it's so cool to hear somebody in your generation going wild about this because it's eating us up. And no, we're not talking about it. I just want to jump into the idea of what is depression, right? So at the simplest level, I understand depression to be a feeling of sadness where you're feeling nothing is right, but now it keeps lasting. It's not just you had a bad day, or you have post-menstrual, baby needs to buy you some Ferrero Rochers, and you're gonna go through your period for a week, and then maybe you're gonna have a post-menstrual thing, and baby needs to buy you a ring, it's not even that. It lasts and lasts and persists and persists and persists and persists.
It's funny that you actually say that because I was talking to Ukamo earlier. I told him that, well, it's something that I saw while I was like browsing through the internet. And so someone said that imagine drawing yourself a bath, right? You fill the bathtub with water, warm water, bath salts, bubble bath, whatever. Then you get in there with your clothes on. Okay. You're just soaking in the bath. And then you drain the water out with you while you're still in there. And then when the water has, like, the bathtub is empty, that is how depression feels.
You're trying to describe depression, hey?
Yo, that is hectic.
I felt it because it's something that I've been through myself. Yeah. So now it was more like I had a more clearer picture on what depression is, because as I said before, it's different for everybody. It's different for everybody. It's just like saying I have a headache, and then someone says I have a migraine. What's the difference? You know, it's stuff like that. So
it's different and the same though, Zizi, because anyone who has felt depressed and just heard you making that description, it's actually perfect and scary at the same time. So I felt that as well, you know, because what I love about mental illness is that you keep moving in the world, you know, but you're living in a disaster, you know. I don't know. You're sitting in an empty bathtub. You're sitting in a bubble bath with no bubble bath. What? That's depression. How else do you say? I mean, that's so beautiful. I never mind. My explanation means nothing. Okay, I want you guys to listen to that analogy, you know, because poets do dabble into this stuff and they really try and say it.
Yeah, but then depression is also caused by something.
Yes, exactly. So exactly. Let's talk about that, all that history and stuff.
Yes, I mean, like, what can I say? There's a lot of stuff that causes depression. People, you know, grow up in different homes and all that stuff. But I always believe that life is just two things: willpower and matter. I don't mean like shit matters. I mean, like,
Physical stuff.
Even our bones, our skin, our blood, all that stuff.
Am I right to say like this? You say this is matter, right? Yes. Am I right to say this is materialistic stuff?
This is material.
Yeah, okay. You're on the right track.
But when you go to materialistic stuff, it's kind of like, you know, what can I say? You diving in too deep. But then when I say matter, I mean everything, including your skin. I mean, like, you cannot say your skin is a materialistic stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally something you were born with.
Pointing that out.
That's true.
What I'm trying to say is a person can be influenced in two ways. Either with their willpower or you know, the physical stuff. You may come out as a happy person, but then grow up to realize that the world is just, you know, not as happy as you might think. And then you start to feel depressed. There's a lot of stuff that can cause that.
That's amazing.
Loss of family, loss of people that you love, and all that stuff. You know?
Speaking of which, when you mentioned Uguti, like, I think you mentioned Uguti, like, the world, like when you're a teenager. So we like sing about we don't perceive the world. So when you're a teenager, you reach a stage whereby you go to varsity now, or you're moving into a new level in life. And when you reach there, it's not what you imagined it to be. It's a whole lot worse. And because you're not expecting, you wasn't expecting it kind of sends you off track. So which comes to a willpower.
Depends on how much willpower do you have.
But so it also comes down to
but then I kind of feel like people might see willpower as something like, you know, like in movies. Type of stuff. Willpower is the fact that you actually just came on YouTube and saw Third Eye skits and then watched this. That is your willpower right there.
You know, Bongani, I think it's so amazing how you simplified it to just two basic life universal laws. If somebody crushes my material, then they crush me and I can lead to depression because of all this bottling up. If somebody crushes my sense of who I am, my emotions, they also, and Basically, if you want to take it down,
It comes on a personal level. When you go to willpower, it's a personal level because it's the things that people say to you, but it also matters because how do you see it or how do you perceive it?
Yes.
If you choose to let that thing, what can I say, affect you in a bad way, of course it's going to affect you. What you think you become, that's what they say, right? So if you think positive all the time, okay, maybe let's say you made a negative comment, maybe you did not mean it, I don't know that, right? So I can just put it like that in my mind. He did not realize that he said something like that, so I'll just be chill. Maybe talk to him about it. You get the answer and then you're okay. I feel like sometimes if something bad happens, but somebody tells you in advance, you would not really feel that much of a, what can I say, effect.
The shock factor, the surprise factor doesn't
I
factor
think it's
in.
the same thing. So either way, if you get a bad answer, a good answer, it's all good.
But now, who primes you to be able to think like that? You know, who, when you're a child, reminds you, with their baby, when you smile, they're in a combi gap. You know, they're not going to see the beautiful 75 white teeth. That's a combi gap. So it's like speaks to the people around us when we're young, how important it is to empower the small people in your life, you know. No, no one is absorbing, sponging every piece of information.
Can you imagine umzali etshelela ingane like etshelela ingane ukuthi umubi wena?
Exactly.
And to mhlambe yena to uyadlala. You know, ingane ilokhu ikhula and then until they realize ukuthi no man. And they reach the stage where they are self-aware.
Was right.
My teeth are big, my forehead is the giant.
Yes, exactly. Because at some point in my life, I've had like felt conscious about my nose. I felt that my nose is too small. I don't know why, but I was like, you know what?
What?
Exactly. It's crazy now. You laugh. It's crazy now. It's laughable now. But back then, I was like, no, man, my nose is too small. I don't like it. So in you know,
like that
that's why you need a bazali or friends or whoever to tell you, you're fine.
And you know how powerful your parents' words are about your life.
Exactly.
Like it's very, very powerful.
Because you know, I'm just thinking, that's something that simple, right? Goes for something as simple as, no, baby, you got a cute nose. If I was your mom, you're like, mommy, they take my nose badly. There I am, kissing your nose to bits.
Exactly.
And it goes from stress, just a stressful thing in your day, instead of this lifelong fight that you're not even talking about because you feel like it's your fault, you know?
Yeah.
So we have to distinguish, like, stress is okay, but when it goes further, do you want to say something about that, Ziz? Because I feel like we have to differentiate between stress and that depression. That
I get you. You know the difference. How I would define it to be like differentiate between the two is the fact that with stress is it's more like pressure. You know, it's pressure. It's like it's a nervous system now. It's a reaction.
Listen, when you're talking to a guy who works out, you're talking about stress.
True. Exactly. So it just like it happens. There's this other commercial. I don't know if you know this commercial from DSTV or something. It spoke about. It said stuff like when you feel something about you feeling unsafe and then your body reacts to you feeling unsafe. That's what I can associate stress with. Depression, on the other hand. Depression I associate it with the word repression. Because like when something, as you said, like when something is pressing you down, like and you keep pressing that thing from like and about it pressing it down, you start being depressed. I'm sorry, I'm a poet, guys. I'm a poet. Oh
my God.
Word.
She just depressed the whole studio.
No, I didn't.
Oh my goodness.
That's what it will take for people to learn about this. I really don't mind depressing the whole world. If that's what it takes for them to learn about it. I'm getting goosebumps.
For a day, calm down.
So depression is really, and you see even the symptoms. The symptoms are you get panic attacks, you get anxiety attacks. For those of you who don't know what an anxiety attack feels like,
Spidey sense.
Or maybe
it's not Spidey sense.
Oh my God. Or maybe
it's not the right t-shirt.
Because maybe someone someone out there has had an anxiety attack, but now you start feeling those sounds, and you start hearing voices, and then you start vomiting. Whereas you're going through a really, really rough patch, and like especially for guys. For guys, I'm not saying that girls have it any less than guys, but with guys, it's more like a thing of they're supposed to be protectors. They are known to be protectors, so you don't expect Ushaga Zulu to be afraid of like Ushaga itself. So it's more like people don't talk about these things, and I always tell my male friends that I actually respect and admire a man who can literally talk about his problems and cry. And I'm not saying be a crybaby, but like a person who talks about it and actually cry about it. Like I'm not, and I don't know if I'm saying this because I'm a girl, but crying helps. That type of mentality.
Do you know how we process this? Like, let's
educate us.
Let's imagine, for argument's sake, let's say umama kaya, umama kaya, you have kids, and ekben kwakho nanengane, the aim would say your kids should feel safe around you. Your kids should feel protected. So imagine if you break down, and to a point where your kids can actually see you breaking down. So that's how we process it. I have to be strong for you. I have to be firm. You know, I'm going through this thing, I have to act like nothing is going on, so they don't also get lending now the situation.
And be honest.
You know.
Don't.
That's how we process it.
Yes, no way. We just help us.
Yes, it's wrong. Yes, we're not supposed to do it, but it you don't actually think about it. Just that instinct, you're manly, masculine. It just
hits. Oh my gosh,
that repression thing. Too much of it.
Repressing.
To a point where it just
blow up.
It could be something small too.
Yes, something that keeps happening every day.
Like
just that when I come into the house, you guys don't let me chill. Exactly, yes.
So it's
something simple, like he comes back from work and he just wants quiet. And but he doesn't say.
For 2 seconds.
He just squashes your mouth. He's like, shh. Because that's what you really want. That's what you need. You want that kind of peace, And because we don't communicate, but as Gamo is speaking to me, firstly, I just so feel proud. Bongani Gamo, I feel so proud that you guys are part of this conversation, and it was initiated by you guys. Seriously, Kat.
Yeah.
Seriously, righteous anger, called righteous anger.
Yeah.
Because we need to sort it, because it's got simple solutions. It's not. So I just want to make this a black thing. Just. We're not gonna make it, but I just I want to make it a black thing, and I want to make it about relationships.
Yes,
that's why communication is important in relationships. Your man also needs to talk.
Exactly.
Can you be massaging him? Your butt is in the right place, his back is in the right place. Like, so honey, see with the
he's opening
what if something comes up,
Exactly.
So in relationships we always have this, problems, we don't talk, but it comes down to the basic things about who you love and how you want to support them. So something simple like that. It's a black thing because white people made us think that our biggest problem was them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for all apartheid and all our growing up, we've been fighting this delusional, crazy enemy that doesn't really threaten us. It's not even a threat to
While
us.
the problem is...
While back at the ranch, the white man's watching and he's like, look at the worms eating while he's watching me. Now...
Racist against each other. If there isn't real.
And that's why what you guys are doing is so important. When men stand up for us and say, I'm not scared of white people.
Yes.
But I'm scared of my wife or my children
stand up
going crazy and going wungam, your bow, champagne,
the
your pow. in English. So yeah, I'd really like us to actually think about that. There are these other more social factors that influence us to live these existences without realizing it. So I think it's an important conversation, especially in South Africa, the rainbow country, the rainbow nation. Our blackness matters. We fought, we have a history, we're known throughout the world for our history to fight for our blackness. So now let's work on our blackness. Let's actually
let's rock our blackness.
Let's rock it.
Exactly.
Kanye and them are rocking it, and I'm so proud of the kids. All these kids in Johannesburg, all these kids in Durban, Cape Town, busy doing these amazing things. They're pushing the ego and the persona of the person. But now we have an opportunity to also look inside and work the floss. So that while the floss is standing there, it's backed up, right?
Yeah. And there's this other little thing that I wanted to actually address on this podcast. It's a very common and similar thing that most, if not all, black kids or youth face. It's stuff like when you open up to an adult or something like that, and you tell them I'm depressed or I think I'm depressed or something like that, and then
what the fuck is that?
And then the answer be like, what are you so stressed about?
I got problems.
Yeah,
I got problems. You don't have problems.
Oh yes.
It's stuff like that really just like
this
to even talk about like no. It's really something that I'll never understand.
This thing about depression, how they address it, the black community. It's like there's this line that J. Cole said. We just repress this thing, we go for drugs, and then alcohol. You see people who actually resonate with you. They go through the same thing, and then you be like, yeah, these are my people. So you might end up, doing wrong things.
Exactly, because it goes back to what Zizi said. You told your mom, you said I'm depressed. She's like, I don't know what you're stressed about. You found people at the corner smoking a spliff. They're like, I'm depressed. You're like, oh, okay, then I'll hang out with you.
And then you find a new type of family that our original family does not.
Exactly.
And
then you come
and
back.
Then you be like, how? Exactly. I mean, if you had done better, I'm just saying, if you had done better.
And it's not doing better, because doing better does challenge the people to think they have to do something extra. No, it's the simple thing.
You can always build a child.
It's the simple thing.
Build a child to be strong and resilient. My mother did that for me, and I'm thankful. Build a
my mama
child.
did that for me too,
Exactly.
but it still doesn't.
No. If you're strong and resilient, no matter what you come against, you always overcome it. It may take long, but you will overcome it.
Because that's what it's about, right? It's about overcoming. It's not that you're not going to go through it.
Yeah.
That's the thing about depression.
Yeah.
That's the thing about depression. We talked about it as if like you feel something for a specific time or a day.
Yeah.
And then like it's actually mostly repeated. I know everybody has had those days like you don't know what the fuck is wrong. You don't know what is wrong with you. You don't know what the fuck is wrong with you.
Depressed people swear.
A lot. A lot.
It is. We grew up with that language. But then those days. I wouldn't say they come along a lot, but then you feel those days where you're like, I don't know what's up with me. I don't feel like doing something. I don't feel like,
Yeah.
But then when somebody comes into your life and maybe tries to cheer you up, it depends on what type of person you are. But then it kind of does change the mood. Now imagine feeling that type of feeling for like each and every day, pretty much for the rest of your life.
You pretty much start looking for homes in people. You know what it means to look for a home in a person.
But then
because you don't know how to live with yourself. You always depend on people to cheer you up. And it's just like, and it's not like people go through these things.
Yes, but then most people who go through depression choose to shut people out. They don't let them in. You have to let people in when you come to that.
But Bongani, it's that whole bubble bath with no water thing, because you do go to look for shelter here, but you come here all closed and expect him to open you up. It's like this weird dichotomy. You are alive. She was there for concerting. jumping or higher than everybody, screaming higher than. It seems like you're alive, but you're not. This depression thing is so weird.
And some people fake it.
Yes, you faking the smile the whole time. Exactly.
Yeah, I get that, but then I
And
feel
it's
like
really not healthy.
it's the whole bottling things up.
Talking helps, guys. Before it's all over, my cheat and talk about it. Come on.
So it's all the markets are that's all the markets. Markets yes, but then it's come on.
Yeah, vele kuyenzeka
Make a
mfethu
difference.
you tell a joke to someone and sometimes uyambona ukuthi uphatheke kabi, but because samachita we have pride, you be like uzoba right umchita, you know, that type of situation, you know, umtshele ukuthi extend I was, you know,
you don't need to tiptoe around everybody, but then
You don't need, yeah.
Just be disrespectful.
So yeah, this is amazing, you guys. I think the thing that I'm coming out with as we finish our talk, you guys, is that one thing that just resonates with me in my heart right now. Firstly, Zizi, please write a poem book. I think I'll buy it. You're gonna buy it.
I actually forced her to open a blog.
Okay, God is great.
She inspired me, that's the word.
Forced
me.
Okay, that was his word.
It works.
Okay,
It worked. I opened up a Facebook page, by the way. It's called The Diaries with a Z in the end. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I look out for it.
And then the second thing is, whoever you are out there and you're experiencing depression, you are not alone.
Yes.
You're not a freak. There's nothing wrong with you. Your mood swings and your mood snaps are a function of the illness that you are experiencing. You are ill. I myself also know depression, anxiety. At my age, I've been fighting it for a while now, and I'm finally coming to my success. Finally, at this age. So, take your time. Know that you're not alone. There's nothing wrong with you. You are just sick. I always used to say to my friends, I prefer to be a mentally ill person than to be a physically ill person, because when you're physically ill, you can't get out of bed. And your mind is thriving, everything is here, but all you can feel is pain, all you can feel is death knocking at your door. So as much as there's a stigma against mental illness, I'm happily crazy. Ask my family. Ask anybody who's around me who loves me. The crazier I act, the happier I am. So working on my depression was to allow myself to be myself without judgment, without bottling anything up. So whoever's depressed out there, just know you're not abnormal. Who's over right, find help.
Oh, one last thing, you guys. Before we close off, there's this thing called, you know, when people usually go to drugs for an escape. There's also healthier ways to actually take that out. Like for me, honestly, poetry saved my life.
Yeah.
Writing saved my life, and most of the time there was a time in my life when I was like really depressed. I was writing, but nothing was going out. But you know what helped me throughout that era? I would write things and I would read them at a later stage, and then I would like look at God and be like, okay, I was at this stage at a specific time, and right now I'm here. Like, so there's a very healthier way to actually take those things out, like music and everything. You don't have to be a writer, but just find a healthy habit.
For the guys, I know not all
y'all
of y'all
don't like
are artists.
talking.
You don't talk. The best way to actually deal with depression, I say go to the gym, bro. Trust me. Just go to the gym. It works. I don't know how, but it just works.
Schwarzenegger actually said that when he goes to the gym, I don't know how explicit this is, but he said it feels like an orgasm.
Orgasm.
So you can imagine how good it must feel to actually let something out, let all the negativity out.
Go to the gym, lift heavy, man. You'll be happy with the results. You'll see how far you've come. Physically, you don't have to go to the brain.
You know, Morgani, while you're talking, it leads on to itself. The gyms are out there, you guys. Young cats are busy putting gyms out there. Girls, you are so welcome. And they train you for 50 rand. Oh, it's so cute. But they train you like a real trainer. So, and we're supporting each other as Africans. And you may never know, the gym guy might need you just to help him live his life and not be depressed while you're helping yourself. And I agree 100%. I'm not a guy. No, I don't orgasm from lips.
I also don't
Strasbourg.
I was quoting, by the way. I was quoting.
So I'm sure.
Schwarzenegger does his own things at the gym.
But my favorite time to gym is in the morning because that's my high anxiety moment in the morning. So by the time I'm done gymming, then I come out into the world and most of my anxiety has been spent, you know. So I can just go there boldly as myself, calm and relaxed, you know. So definitely gymming will that's for sure.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, okay, I am overwhelmed. This situation with this like means a lot to me. I've been wanting to talk about this. I've been wanting to address this, and I'm very thankful for you guys who and we had it. I feel like Connie waited so there's this heavy weight that is being lifted from me. I've learned a lot today.
Lost the heavyweight championship.
Well, I haven't lost the muscles, it's just the weight of, you know. So thank you very much, guys. I hope and I'm betting we will be having more of these chat sessions very soon. You know?
If you look around this long, man, I'm sure you've already subscribed.
Don't forget to subscribe, guys. Share, comment. I know you guys have your own opinions and views of this topic we just had today, and the comment section is right there. So just go in the comment section. Your opinion, your views. If there is something you can put out there that can help somebody who is depressed, please go in the comment section and do your thing. I think we're done for the day, guys.
Thank you.
I think we're done for the day.
That was amazing.
Hope that helped.
Thanks.
Once again, I am closing off. It's your boy Ukamo. Sislondiwe. Uzizile. My man B. From me, your boy Ukamo. Peace.